In this video, I'm excited to announce our brand new Dig Dialer Power Dialer system specifically designed for individual agents or small agencies who are looking to leverage the power of a best-in-class call center style dialer and connect to more of their leads and hopefully therefore close more of their sales. So let's jump right in. So in case you haven't met me, I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction about who I am before we go into what the Dig Dialer is and really talk about the benefits about how the Dig Dialer has helped agents and agencies like mine get more money closed and more sales closed from their insurance leads. So my name, of course, is David Duford. A little bit about myself so you know where I'm from if you haven't met me before. I've been in the final expense life insurance business since 2011 as an agent and as an agency owner since 2013. Last year, we closed $7.99 million in final expense business remotely with our free lead system, actually using this very dialer that I'm about to talk to you about. We wrote a total of $15 million in business when you combine our free lead agents with our brokers and downline agencies. We have multiple six-figure monthly producing agencies, as well as multiple six-figure earning agents in our agencies. I've also wrote 4 best-selling insurance sales-based books. You can find them on Amazon. And then, of course, I run a well-known YouTube channel. So my point in sharing this with you is that we definitely understand the insurance business, are living and breathing it daily, and have been doing it now since 2011, so 14 plus years as of the filming of this video. So let's jump into what the Dig Dialer is. So this is kind of interesting and an unusual product, and we're going to come out and tell you exactly what it is based off and why you should be of interest in working with us to access it. So we actually have developed the Dig Dialer based off of a dialer called Convoso. You can go look them up online. You can see that they're essentially a call center based dialing solution where the idea behind it is to provide larger call centers the opportunity to leverage their amazing technology. But there's one problem, and it's this: they don't allow smaller call centers, smaller agencies, or even the individual agent to have their own dialing system in place so that you, a smaller agency or agent, can leverage the same technology. And so what we are able to accomplish in this arrangement is the ability to get agents, individual agents, or smaller agencies, the ability to access this technology without the requirement, in most cases, of having and purchasing 20 seats, a ton of phone numbers, and spending an enormous sum of money in order to have access to this program. So the main benefit, of course, and we're going to get into more of this, is that the Dig Dialer offers the best-in-class dialer for agents and small agencies who want that call center quality experience without the expense that it's required to use it, along with improved connection rates. We'll go into what that means and why that's important, and thus, therefore, better presentation opportunities than any other individual agent or small agency-based dialer that is on the market. And I'm going to go into detail about what we discovered as not just sellers of this service, but now users of it and have been for quite a while. And what we discovered, and I think we'll have a perfect connection to why you should use it. So let's jump into that. So benefits of the Dig Dialer. So we're going to first talk about the increased connection rates. Now, what is connection rates? Well, that is your ability to dial out to a lead and getting them to pick up. Now, it sounds simple, right? When you make a phone call, somebody picks up. Well, not always. If you haven't noticed, there are a lot of dialing and telemarketing going on all day long, whether it's to ourselves or to the people that we know. And many people purposely ignore the incoming calls that they get. And on some occasions, more types and certain types of calls than others. And so what happens is that nowadays in the current telemarketing environment, a lot of the cell phone carriers label calls that are suspected to be spam, a scam, or telemarketing as such, and giving indications to the user not to pick this up because somebody's going to try to sell you something or steal your information. And what invariably happens is that us, the agents who get leads or produce leads for our agencies that are completely legitimate and compliant get washed into this designation against our will that is equivalent to a scam likely tag. And that affects our ability to connect and get that person on the phone to talk to them about what they requested and what we're trying to sell them to help solve the problems. So the beautiful thing about what the Dig Dialer does is that it has an array, meaning a ton, of AI-driven decisions that maximize call connection that allows you to have more connections. And I want to give you my case study, my own personal business, to where we saw the immediate benefits of doing this. So go back to fast forward, rewind, back to about August 2023, 2024. We had been using another dialer with some success, but we realized in the process of using it that it was full of bugs. It wasn't connecting at the rate that we hoped it to, and there were some difficulties in getting the full juice or squeeze for the juice, if you will. And so we ran across Convoso and started doing some research on how it worked, and we're pretty pumped with what we learned and how things were structured. And what ultimately happened was the following. We increased, number one, our connection rates by approximately 300% on average. It actually, at times, was closer to 500 or 600%, meaning that for every 100 leads, let's say I was connecting to 5, we now connect and present the 15 of those. But there are times when we were connecting up to 30 of those 100 leads, which is substantially awesome as far as the amount of increased connections. That means we get to make more presentations to more of our leads, which means we'll make more sales, and we don't even require as many leads, arguably, as we previously did. Now, the downstream impact on how it affected and impacted our agents was incredible. So number one, we had agents who used to work to make 10 to 15 sales a week using their dialer at maybe 40 to 45 hours of dial time to get their production. Now, because of the increased connection rates, only needed 20 to 25 hours on the dialer in order to hit the same level of production. So either the agent works less to make the same amount, or they can work more now to make even more sales depending on what their goals are. So this made a tremendous impact on our company to write more business and to field more quality leads to our clients. So like I said, not only are we selling this to you, but we are happily presently using the same exact dialer and cannot be more thrilled with what we have leveraged out of it, and can certainly attest by personal experience that you will see something similar in your ability to get more mileage out of your leads and more presentations and hopefully more sales. Another benefit that's been hugely beneficial is the voicemail block technology. So one of the most frustrating things of using a dialer is having to listen to voicemails and the time that it takes away from connecting to real life calls. Well, with the technology that the Dig Dialer has is that up to 98% of any voicemails never even make it to the point where you have to listen to them. They are hung up in the background, and the dialers keep going to get you ultimately to the point to talk to a living live person. That means your agents are wasting less time on pointless connections and spending more time on actual connections with live people that are ready to listen to you. We call this the no stress sit and sell system. Kind of sounds silly, but what's cool about the Dig Dialer, as in when you get logged into the system, your agents or your agency does, then what happens is that you don't actually manually dial, point and click on anything when it comes to the dialing. The system works in the background. So you as the agent don't have to actually sit here and manage the dialing. It just does it when you log in and say you're ready. Or your agents in your downline don't have to worry about that either. But as soon as somebody comes onto the screen, a light flashes on the screen, you know that you're live and connected, and then the script shows up, and then you can start pitching right away. And then if you've got different kind of leads, you can input different scripts so that your agents can deliver the right script, because maybe you have some sort of inbound lead where your opening is different than maybe your outbound lead. And by the way, you can tie in inbound leads to funnel into this system as well, not just outbound calling. We also have lead prioritization logic. So the idea behind this is that we can help you, based off of our experience, develop a system to prioritize by agent and by type of lead who should get what. So like, for example, at the Dig Agency, we prioritize our best agents to get the freshest leads. And then based off of the score system we set up and the logic behind it, we're able to dole out the leads in a way, because of the technology that's capable with this system, to make sure our most productive agents are the most busiest, and then our leads are getting the best chances of getting closed. And again, this is going to elevate your conversion rate in a way that you're just never going to find with really any other dialer. Now, if you're an individual agent, it's the same idea. You can design the dialer to preferentially send you the fresh leads as soon as they come in, because you want speed to lead. You want to close these sales as quickly as possible, but also implement other leads in as well, that when there's some time going on where maybe you don't have fresh leads, you can work like a superior age lead or a less fresh lead and work through your existing leads in a logical manner that's going to allow you to talk to the better leads by statistics, meaning the fresher leads, than just any old leads. So the point is that we can help you design the system so you're leveraging your leads and squeezing every last dollar out of them as much as humanly possible. This is designed for individual agents and agencies, again, to be 100% clear. Believe it or not, you do not have to work with the Dig Agency in order to become a client. You can have your own agency with another upline, or you can be an individual agent elsewhere. We don't care whether you're with or not with us. We just want to help you with this amazing service. And of course, we have our well-known white glove onboarding experience included in the packaging, or in the package. For everybody, that means we're going to set everything up for you. We're going to get your list in. We're going to set everything up for whatever CRM that you have so you can get the maximal experience. That way you don't have to worry about trying to figure out everything and doing it on your own. We want the premier experience in getting you started so you get the maximal amount of value out of this amazing system. So bottom line, the Dig Dialer is an amazing dialer. We love using it at the Dig Agency, and we're super excited to announce this rollout to any individual agent or small agencies to leverage this amazing service so that you can get more out of your leads and get better results selling, no matter what kind of insurance that you're selling. Now let's talk about some frequently asked questions to help kind of clarify for you if what we're offering is a good fit for you. We're also going to talk about the costs as well. So what is the onboarding experience like? So after you make your purchase, then our team will reach out to you. You'll also get an invitation to join our Slack support group to ask us questions, which you'll always have access to. But we will get you set up. We'll get you plugged into the system. We'll also walk through how to use it, what the major things you need to be concerned with, and then we'll also talk to you about your existing leads, where you're getting from, any leads list that you have. So that way you're optimally set up from the get-go to having the best system in place to accomplish what it is that you need to do. Again, can't stress enough, the onboarding experience for us is white glove, which simply means we're hands-on in helping you. We don't want you to buy this and like get overly confused and befuddled and then like ask for a refund or never use it. That's a waste. We want you to get on board ASAP so you can start using this thing and see the power that it actually provides. What's different about the Dig Dialer compared to other dialers? So bottom line, we've used other dialers and some have been good, some have been trash. And what we realize is probably the biggest impact that the Dig Dialer can offer you versus others is because of the way the technology is designed on the back end, sifting and sorting through the leads. It's going to help you connect with more of your leads. In many cases, you'll need less leads to talk to using this dialer than, say, you would use otherwise. And so invariably what that means is you're just going to close more of your sales because of the technology that's in place. Again, one of the biggest benefits of the technology is the ability to keep your numbers clean to avoid the spam likely, telemarketer likely, etc. tags that just crush connection rates. And all of that happens in the background. You do nothing. The system takes care of it for yourself. So you're knowing going forward, using the system, you're working the best leads possible, and your numbers are clean and maximizing the potential for connecting with your leads to close them. What is the long-term commitment? There is none. So getting started is a month-to-month program. You're welcome to cancel anytime. Can I just go direct to Convoso if I have enough agents to justify the purchase? Yeah, if you're watching this and you've got several dozen agents, it probably makes more sense just to go direct to Convoso and to set up your agency program with them. If you're in a position now where you maybe have less than 20, maybe if you're like right at the cusp of getting 20, it makes sense to go there. But like, look, if you're around 10, give or take, then you should absolutely start with us. And when it makes sense to move over direct to Convoso, there's no obligation to work with us. There's no contract. You can just cancel it with us and then port everything over at that point. Do I need to work with you to use the Dig Dialer? Again, I just put this in here so because everybody's kind of surprised hearing this. No, you don't. This is open to anybody that wants to purchase this, even if you don't work with the Dig agency in any form or fashion whatsoever. What's the cost breakdown for individual agents? So here's how costs work. It's very important you understand this. So the cost on, and let me say this for the agent and the agency cost. This is a premier product. You're getting an excellent, best-in-class product. You're going to pay because you're getting an excellent-in-class product. Do not think that this is the cheap solution. There are plenty of cheap solutions. And if you want that, go do some research. You'll find stuff that's sub $100 a month. But the problem with those products is they're inconsistent, they're poorly designed, full of bugs, and worst, don't have the technology in place to connect you at optimal rates, which just means you're going to lose a ton of money on missed sales opportunities because you're being cheap. So this is premier priced for a reason because it works. And again, remember, I actually use this. I pay the premier price because I know what value is and I want it for my agency and I want you to have value too. So how do prices work? So for the individual agent, your dialer is paid month to month. You can cancel anytime. You have full access to the dialer, getting the logic set up, our white glove onboarding experience, and you get 50 phone numbers to begin with that allows you to maximally connect with the leads that you have. 50 is typically good enough for the agents that are individual, that aren't working like several dozen states, etc. So the total monthly cost for the white glove onboarding experience for the individual agent, the full access to the dialer and 50 phone numbers is $425. Now, with that said, the other thing that you have to potentially expect is that you will need more phone numbers at a future date. So one of the things the dialer does is it knows when numbers go bad and if they need the rest, or if more numbers are just necessary considering the number of states that you're dialing. So there is the potential that in order to squeeze the most value out of this system, that you'll need to, at a future date, buy more numbers. And we expect 100 numbers to be sufficient for an individual agent. So there may be an additional cost of $3.50 per number. So another $175 potentially. It's just going to depend on how much you use the phone numbers, to be honest with you. But understand there is that kind of variable nature. And the only reason that we would ask you to pay that difference is because it's obvious on our end that there just is a necessity for more numbers because we're not getting the connection rates we want. Now, if you're an agency, the price point for the dialer is $249 per seat. Now, a number of phone numbers that you need is going to be based off of the same number, $3.50 a line, and that's payable per month. But the number of phone lines you need is going to be dependent upon how much call activity you're actually doing. So what we like to do is do an audit to give us an idea of your total call time. We'll give you the specifics on what we're looking for. It's totally private. You're not going to have to share any like client information or lead data with us. But what this is going to allow us to do is to base on your call history and how much you're doing, how many phone numbers you're going to need to maximize your connection. So it may be a little, it may be a lot. It's just going to depend on your total call volume. But we'll basically just give you a quote on what the expectation is so that you can know what exactly to expect in going forward. And of course, the need for more phone numbers may be necessary as well if you run an agency. So that is a breakdown for the small agency. So bottom line, Let's say you love this idea. You're convinced that this dialer is the kind of dialer you use. I hope so, because it's what we use. What is the next steps? Very simple. If you're watching this on digdialer.com, scroll down and just make a purchase. You'll get started right away if you're an individual agent, and then we'll begin the onboarding within the next 24 to 48 business hours. Now, if you're an individual agency, you're welcome to send us a question via the contact form at the very bottom and just tell us how many agents you got, and then what you need to do, or ask us what you need to do an audit of your call history to get an idea of how much money the monthly cost will be for the phone number amount of volume that you need. And then, yeah, that's basically it. If you are watching this on YouTube, that may be the other thing you may be wondering, then the link to go to the website is below in the description, or you can just type in digdialer.com, and then you'll be taken to this page, and then scroll to the bottom. You'll see how to make your order, or if you're an agency, how to process a quote to see what one would run you. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're convinced as much as I am that the Dig Dialer is the best-in-class solution for your dialing needs as an individual agent or agency, no matter whether or not you work at the Dig agency. So again, go to digdialer.com if you're watching this on YouTube to take the next step, or if you're watching this at digdialer.com, scroll to the bottom and then make your purchase or request your quote now. Thank you so much for watching.